Hi there, I'm Jeanette Hurt, and I'm excited to get drunk with buds.
We are getting drunk with drunk with buds. We are getting drunk with drunk with buds. Drunk with buds. Drunk with buds. We are getting drunk with buds.
Welcome, everybody, to Drunk with Buds, a show about trying new beers with some friends and having discussions you would normally have at a bar. As always, we get our beer information from the Untappd app. That's UNTAPPD. Thank you, Honer, for joining in. You can now follow the show on there at Drunk with Buds.
Also, guys, check out the Tavor app on your Apple or Android device and try new beers across 47 different states. Build your own custom box of the craft beers you'll love, or enroll in a subscription and they'll automatically snag the highest rated beers that suit your taste. No minimums or commitments. Get your hand-picked beer delivered right to your doorstep for a flat fee. Yep, any amount of beer, or ship for free with a subscription. And for being a first-time user, you can use our promo code DRUNKWITHBUDS to get $10 off your first order of $25 or more. Bruce the Beer Bandit uses Tavor to get our beers for the show, so you know it's legit. That's promo code DRUNKWITHBUDS, all one word, for $10 off your first order of $25 or more.
Awesome. Today, we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Jeanette Hurt. She is an author, a writer. She's an author of multiple books, including the unofficial Aldi cookbook and Wisconsin Cocktails, which she happened to give us a copy of both. How are you today, Jeanette?
I am great. How are you today?
We're fantastic. We're
spectacular.
Oh, yeah, we are ready to get drunk with you.
We're hoping. We're ready to get drunk, yeah. Today, for our listeners, we're going to do things a little bit different. This is our season 4 premiere. My fiance is actually going to be making our drinks for the cocktails that we will be having. We are picking 2, or we have already picked 2 from the book, Wisconsin Cocktails, and we're just going to go ahead and jump into the first beer. So, Bruce, take it away.
We have the traditional Wisconsin Old Fashioned. The mixologist is Aubrey Dodd from Badger Liquor Ingredients. Oh, Badger Liquor. The ingredients of this drink are 1 to 3 sugar cubes, 2 dashes of Anastasia bitters or other kind of bitters, an orange wedge, 1 cherry, preferably filthy cherry, 2 ounces of brandy, and 1 to 2 ounces of a lemon lime soda or a sour soda and or a seltzer. You should garnish this with an orange wedge and a cherry on a toothpick.
Yum.
First thoughts, first sips.
It tastes really good. It's really smooth.
Now, I've never had an old fashioned with the whiskey, so I can't measure up. But I know that Wisconsin's like the brandy over the whiskey, and I like brandy, so I can see why they do.
Yeah, Brandy's a nice lady, but this is really good.
And a good song.
The whiskey hits a little harder, but this is so smooth. I really like this way. I'm not usually a fan of old fashions either. This is really good.
Well, a traditional old fashioned, any place outside of Wisconsin, is just whiskey, bitters, and sugar. And that's it. So it's a really booze forward kind of drink. It's also a little harsh depending on the kind of whiskey you use too, and usually rye is used, and that can definitely be harsh on the palate, whereas in Wisconsin we muddle the sugar and the brandy and the bitters and the orange and the cherry together, which gives it this really nice fruity base. And then you top it with sweet, sour, or club soda. Now, which soda are you using today?
I think we picked up the Diet Squirt. I think that's what we had. Or
The Squirt.
I think that's an awesome soda to use. If you want a different sour that's really, really good, I recommend using Top Note Tonic Grapefruit Soda. And if you can't find theirs, Q grapefruit soda is also a really, really good option.
What if I don't like grapefruits? What would you recommend?
Um, I would recommend getting one of those any craft soda that you like.
Okay.
That's not a cola.
Okay.
That would work really well.
Awesome.
Would Canada Dry work for this, like a ginger soda?
I think it would. It would have a slightly different flavor, but it would totally work.
Because
I
there's this
think-
blackberry ginger soda that I really love.
Oh, that would be amazing. And instead of using cherries, I would muddle blackberries with the orange.
Ding ding.
Yeah, this is so tasty.
It's very tasty.
This is probably my favorite old fashioned I've ever had.
Like Kona was saying, with the whiskey, it kind of gives it like a hard, like a punch, kind of like a punch in the face kind of taste. This is nice and smooth.
It's way too much whiskey, and then this one is just like, man, I am drinking a mixed drink. Like,
I just feel like I'm on a porch swing, just sitting there in the summer, rocking back and forth like an old man. Get off my yard!
So you're every day.
Yeah, my everyday.
Okay.
Well, in Wisconsin, we drink more brandy than any place else in the country, if not the world. In the summer, this is not an old fashioned, but you would probably really enjoy it. It's a brandy slush, and that's kind of like Wisconsin sangria. Everybody has their own recipe. You won't find it in bars too much. I mean, once in a while you will. But what it is it's brandy, concentrated orange juice, concentrated lemonade or limeade, sometimes sugar, sometimes tea added, and brandy, of course. And you throw the whole thing in the freezer. And it gets slushy. And what you do is you kind of scoop out the slush, put it in a glass, and top it with your soda of choice. And you can pound those on the patio all summer.
Oh yeah.
Well, you had all of us when you said slushy.
Yeah. We're huge.
It's so good.
You need not go further. I will drink it. That sounds
We
good.
love slushies,
We love slushies.
Yes.
especially boozy ones.
We made
It's so good.
last fall. We made a rocket popsicle slushy out of a seltzer beer.
Ooh, tell me about that. Tell me more.
Well, it was a Wisconsin brewery called Untappd. They made a rocket popsicle sour / seltzer. I mixed it half and half with lemonade from
Chick-fil-A.
and then I froze
good.
froze it in cubes, and then I took those cubes and put it into my Vitamix and turned it into a slushy, and then I brought it over.
Ooh, that sounds wicked good.
It was wicked good.
Yeah, I had those ice cubes in my freezer for like a year, and they were still good after all that. We had them.
Our guest that day was grinning ear to ear because of the slushies. you can listen to it on Drunk with Buds, season 3.
They're like, "Oh yeah, this slushie's great."
Well, I'm going to have to listen to that one because I did not listen to that particular episode.
I believe that was the sci-fi talk with Jake Morris.
Yeah, it's a little nerdy, so you can just skip to the slushie if you want to.
Hey, I'm a nerd myself. I like sci-fi.
Let's
So-
go.
The water's fine.
Sometimes we get people that are like, "We don't watch that." It's like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, all right.
we try to hit a variety of everything here. So
Yeah.
sometimes we strike out.
Some people just don't have taste.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
First high five of the day.
So I have not tried that slushie, but I will have to try it. I will tell you a story about how I had made, of course, brandy slush in summer. And then, I put it in my freezer and it ended up in the back of my freezer. And I found it in like January, and it was kind of like a little bit of summer I found in my freezer.
Nice.
And it was fantastic.
That sounds like fantastic. Like, I can't wait to like get into summer and have slushies and sour summer. We're just
Sour.
saying it now. We're going to say it. We're going to have a
Gonna
sour
have so
summer.
many sours
But right now we're going to introduce a brand new segment
for our guests.
for our guests. It's called Beer Flight. We got 6 questions, and here's the new intro. Hit it.
Who? What?
When
Where
Why?
and how? welcome to Beer Flight. First question on the board. If any, who were giving you the idea or the inspiration to write your Wisconsin cocktails book, Jeanette?
Well, I'll tell you a story. I was promoting my first cocktail book, which is Drink Like a Woman, which I think you would, even though you're guys, you would probably like, because there's a drink in there called Kissed by a Wookiee.
Is it Harry?
And it is a
Fuzzy navel.
well, actually, it's an ice cream drink made with tuaca, which when I was researching my book, I found out this woman who taught me, she had been teaching cocktail making for 30 years. So I hired her to teach me how to mix drinks because I said if I was going to write a book on cocktails, I needed to know what I was doing. And she introduced me to tuaca, which my first thought was tuaca rhymes with Chewbacca. So anyway, detour there. But I was at a writing conference and I was meeting with this editor at the University of Wisconsin Press. And I had no book ideas, but I was at this writers conference and I'm like, she's from Wisconsin, I'm from Wisconsin, and we were down in Illinois. So I was like, well, I'll just meet with her. Maybe something in the future will work out. But we ended up talking about my Drink Like a Woman book. And then we started talking about Wisconsin, the brandy old fashioned, and why do people drink brandy in Wisconsin? And then the editor goes to me, she's like, oh yeah. And then we drink our Bloody Marys weird too, which if you haven't had a Wisconsin Bloody Mary, it's a meal on top served with a beer chaser, and the beer chaser is expected. So I think you'd really like that drink. And then she's like, oh yeah, and our ice cream drinks and brandy slush. And then suddenly that following week, she sent me an email and they wanted me to do an outline. And I'm like, wow, this is a book contract without having to do any work. Now, the book itself required a lot of work because I wanted to make sure I knew definitively why we drink brandy. And it's not the reason most people think. But it was a lot of fun. And I do consider it the definitive book to Wisconsin cocktails, why we drink what we drink here in Wisconsin. And everybody thinks of Wisconsin and they think of beer, which is true. We have a lot of great breweries, both big and small. But we also never had a dark days of cocktails, aka the 70s or 80s. You can go to a dive bar almost anywhere here in Wisconsin and they'll make you a brandy old fashioned. They might actually have like a brandy flavoring mix so that they don't muddle the cherries and the orange, but they'll make it for you and it will be better than what dive bars outside of Wisconsin will make.
Ooh.
So that's how I started writing it, and it's been a lot of fun.
So what other books have you written?
Well, I have written a total of 15 books.
Holy mackerel.
Most on food and drink. Six
I
of
know
them
about
are
the food. I've done a couple of your food recipes already, and they're spectacular.
wonderful. Well, you'll have to tell me which ones you like. But so anyway, I write food and drink. I've done 6 Idiot's Guides. Right now, I'm actually working on my next 2 cocktails. And when you said you're having a sour summer, I'm right now working on the definitive book to the whiskey sour.
Ooh.
And then I'm doing a big book of sour. So
Yeah.
those are really fun. And I just, so you know, last weekend I had my 2 best friends over and we just tasted different versions and different formulas of the whiskey sour.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
I've had your unofficial Aldi cookbook in my kitchen since you've sent it. Thank you very much. And I've made the Aldi shrimp scampi 5 times now.
Wow.
I have altered the recipe slightly due to the fact that I used fresh shrimp from Whole Foods instead of the frozen.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then I noticed that I like it a little bit saucier than the recipe added, so I add a little bit more of the wine and the butter then to get it a little bit more saucy, because then I poured it back over the pasta that I was having it on with a little bit of the water from the pasta. You always got to say that, guys. Yep. Save at least a half a cup to a quarter of a cup of the starchy water that you pour out and put it back in there with the pasta. it brings out all the flavors and things like that that are left
Oh yeah.
in from the pasta.
Oh yeah.
And then you just serve it with that buttery sauce.
Nice.
Next time you better use frozen shrimp.
No.
So Jeanette, when did you get started? You said most of your books are culinary books. So like, when did you start to realize that was kind of your calling? We'll say.
Well, we could go back to when I was 7 years old, and I told my mom I was going to write a doggy cookbook because my mom let me.
I thought that was going somewhere else. When I was 7 years old, I told my mama that I wanted to get a whiskey sour book out there.
Now, what's really funny about this is my mom used to let me cook canned dog food on the stove, which just by the way, it smells awful. So I do not recommend doing that. But the dog was actually the best, quote unquote, person to try recipes out because she ate everything. It didn't matter how atrocious it was. Now, as you know, most dogs have, I wouldn't exactly call their palates sophisticated because they eat things like goose droppings in the park or AKA park pate. But that's what I said I wanted to do. But then I got into journalism, and at the second job out of college, I was covering a lot of board meetings and writing about dead people, which was not really fun. So I started freelancing for the food desk. And when there was no movement, because nobody wanted to leave the food desk because it's really a fun thing, I ended up becoming a freelance writer. And a lot of people told me, oh, well, it's really hard to get into food writing. But if you're really into food and drink, then you'll find story ideas and be able to sell them. And, I started initially, and this is also, I worked on a book proposal, which at the time I was heartbroken that it didn't sell. It was a doggy cookbook, actually. But I'm really glad I write about booze and food and not cooking for dogs. I'm sure my dog is very disappointed. I did end up doing one chapter, however, of my Complete Idiot's Guide to Dehydrating Foods dedicated to dog treats and cat treats. And that was because I was turning in my book, or I was like a week away from turning it in, and my publisher gave me a call and said, we're running about 30 pages too short. And I'm like, well, you told me to write about, and I had designed dozens of dehydrated recipes, but mostly if you're using a food dehydrator, the recipes are 3 steps: prepare your food, turn on the dehydrator, and wait 8 to 12 hours later, and it's done. So they weren't these full page or 2-page recipes that they were expecting. So I'm like, well, what can I do? And I'm like, oh, I made pet treats. Well, I'll do 20 different kinds of pet treats.
There you go.
And my dog was so excited by that. I will tell you that the worst thing to have in your dehydrator, however, are sardine cat treats. Which I made for my neighbor's cat.
That doesn't smell good. That doesn't smell good. So let's just go into the next beer on the beer flight. Where did you go to college and grow up?
I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, but my grandfather grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin. And I went to Marquette University here in Milwaukee. And my second job out of college was in Milwaukee, and then I met a Milwaukee boy, so I've actually spent more time in Milwaukee than Chicago. But I always call myself a processed cheesehead because I'm originally from Illinois, and it was a process of becoming a cheesehead. I will say after I became a Packers fan, my father felt completely betrayed. He's a Bears fan. And I was just like, dude, you didn't take me to any games.
Are you a Brewers fan, or are you a Cubs or White Sox fan?
I'm a White Sox fan still.
I mean, I gotta hang up now.
Well, my father's a White Sox fan. My mom's a Cubs fan. They had this mixed marriage. It caused more problems than the fact that he was Protestant and she was Catholic. My cousins used to, when my mom was dating him, when the Sox lost, they would move his car because there were like 8 of them. They'd move him down the street so he couldn't find his car. But when the Cubs lost, he said he'd go over to the house with 8 kids and there was nobody there because my mom helped my aunt, who my uncle was a Chicago cop and he was killed in line of duty. So, and she was left with 8 kids. So my mom, being in her 20s, went to help her sister. And the fact that her 8 kids did not scare my dad away is a testament to true love. But so yeah, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and we used to go on vacation to Wisconsin. I still vacation sometimes in Wisconsin, but I married a Milwaukee boy, and that was kind of it. But back to the whole story about the being a Packers fan. We were down for a family party, and my dad put a sign on the bathroom door that said, "Flush hard. It's a long way to Green Bay."
Flush hard.
That's funny.
Yep.
All right, next question. Why did you agree to join us?
Because you have a fun vibe. And also, it's not like I can really go, I can hang out in some of the igloos and things outside right now.
Right.
But, and I will say there are some places in Wisconsin that never closed, I'm pretty sure, but we never closed during Prohibition either. Our governor, when things started opening up, was complaining that it's like the Wild West out here. And it's like, yeah, Tony. It was like that during Prohibition too. I interviewed this amazing woman for both of my cocktail books. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us, Marcy Skronsky. She's this little, little, under 5 foot Polish woman. And she was 93 years old and still bartending. So pretty interesting lady, but she told me that the bar which she owned, the Holler House, which also has the oldest bowling lanes in the United States in the basement. She said when the feds used to come, late father used to hide all the booze in her husband's crib. Oh, don't bother the baby. He's sleeping.
So I kind of feel that when people do the show, we had a guest on here where I actually felt like they were with us right now. When we're drinking and everything on the show. And that's kind of one of the reasons I love doing guests over the phone too, because I just feel like during this tough time in the pandemic, it's cool to kind of just chill out and hang out and talk technology and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes the connection's so well that you actually think they're there.
Yeah,
right,
I'm kind of feeling like I'm kind of feeling like you're here right now, and it's kind of tripped me out. But I appreciate you joining us today to be here, getting drunk with us, and these drinks. I have no doubt they're going to be amazing. The old fashioned's fantastic so far.
Fantastic.
I'll say real quick story about that. Honer, the other guy that was talking, we had a guest. One of our first, Christine Baker from California.
Women's Beer Collective.
Yeah. She was one of our first guests, I think, that we actually had to start calling in, right?
That's correct.
But the conversation was so good and flowing back and forth that when I went to the fridge to get the beers for the next segment, Honer was asking me, he said, why do we only have 3? We need 4. I was like, why do we need 4? He's like, well, because for the guests. We're like, she's not here. He's like, oh, man. I thought she was here.
Wow, sorry. I was having a great time. And you guys got to call me out every time.
It was so cute.
See, so when she said we had a good vibe, she definitely meant just for me.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't talking about you guys.
Nah, this drink is awesome. I've already looked at Two Tones and be like, give him subtle gestures for him to go get a refill because I want another one.
Dude, I would love another one right now. That'd be awesome. But okay, we'll continue the beer flight. We are on the final question. How did you start the process about getting a book published for our aspiring authors, listeners out there?
Okay. Well, let me tell you this story. Like I said, I was trying to get this doggy cookbook published, and I sent it to 3 different agents. And they all said no. And I sent it to a bunch of publishers, and they said no. So I figured, well, that's not going to happen, at least not now. So then I started writing other book proposals. And book proposals are like queries or pitches for books if you're going to do a nonfiction book. If you do a fiction book, you actually have to have the whole book finished. But for nonfiction books, they just want a chapter, an outline, an intro, a comparison and contrast of like the books like it on the market. So you'd say, well, this book is like this, but it's better because it's this way.
Okay.
And then you have to have a marketing plan and explain how much you're going to put in to sell it. And then I went to a writer's conference and I met this editor at Countryman Press. And we discussed 3 ideas and I sent her 2 proposals that were no. But this particular publisher actually sold a book and published a book called Vermont Cheese, or the Cheeses of Vermont. And I said to her, well, you know, if you have a book on the cheeses of Vermont, you really should have a book on the cheeses of Wisconsin. So I worked hard on that proposal, but when they were looking at the proposal, publishing companies have like these meetings in New York where they discuss proposals that are on the table. So I had a friend and she was like, you know, what do New York publishers know about Wisconsin cheese? All they think of are those stupid cheese hats during Packers games or cheddar or American cheese. And
Yeah, what's
I
up with
said,
that?
you know, you're right. So I went to my favorite cheese store here in Milwaukee, Larry's Market.
That's right, folks.
And I spent
cheese stores.
That's crazy.
Yes. So I shipped $50 worth of Wisconsin cheese, which arrived during the meeting. And I got an email back from the publisher and he said, thank you for the cheese. It was delicious and persuasive and it impressed the New York snobs. So that's how I got my first deal.
Nice.
So I think it doesn't hurt to think outside the box and do something, because I was like, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to say no.
They say no and eat your cheese.
And I probably wrote 40 book proposals or sent out my book proposals 40 different times before I finally had the first one sold. And then my agent sold my Complete Idiot's Guide to the Cheeses of the World. So I was working on 2 books at once. But then the next year I worked on 2 more books for each of those publishers. And that's kind of how I started. I think the main thing you need if you want to write a book, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, is to be persistent and keep at it and learn the craft. And I will say this also, when I spent 2 years writing book proposals before the first one sold. And at that same time, a friend of mine who became an enemy because she stole sources of mine and pitched them to the same editors. So my frenemy, I introduced her to my agent and she sold a book within 1 week. And I was just, you know, and then I discovered she had been stealing my story ideas and things like that.
Shit.
So I was just completely enraged. But then I figured, you know, her success has nothing to do with mine. And I was very generous with my help. But I figured, you know, if it takes me a little bit longer, that's okay. I'm just going to learn how to write a good book proposal. So for every book proposal I wrote that didn't sell, I figured, well, I'm learning how to write a better book proposal. And now, if I need to write a book proposal, I can probably write one in a week and it's really solid. And there have been other times I spent 2 years working on this bartending book with these 2 bartenders who shall remain anonymous. And they ended up wanting to own my notes and some other things. So we couldn't come to an author's agreement. So I spent 2 years working with them on their book. Their book has never sold, by the way. But a month after I finally said, well, forget this, I walked away from 2 years worth of work. I wrote my own book proposal and then Drink Like a Woman sold a month later.
Nice.
So I think sometimes you have these ups and downs and you just kind of got to stay with the process. And now my books are going really well, but it took a lot of work. And, you know, I don't think, ooh, I'm this great writer. I think about the story. I think about the cocktails. Like right now I'm working on the whiskey sour for the University of Kentucky Press, which is the largest bourbon publisher in the world. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing my research. I'm trying to figure out the origins of the whiskey sour, and then Like I said, last weekend I spent an entire afternoon making whiskey sours, and they were all the same except for the proportions of whiskey, lemon juice, and simple syrup. And I played around with that. And I will say, I'll give you a sneak peek to that book. What I think is the perfect whiskey sour formula is 2 ounces of bourbon. You can also use Irish whiskey, Scotch, or Japanese whiskey, but rye doesn't really work. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup with equal parts sugar and water. And then I will say, if you want to make it even better, add a pasteurized egg white and add 3 dashes of bitters. It's amazing.
So you had me at Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of Japanese whiskey. I can barely find it around here, but there's one place that has it, and they kicked me out one time, so I never go back.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we can always go back to what we thought about this drink.
All right.
It's time to rate.
So normally on the show we do a final rating and final thoughts or whatever. I think we're still gonna do the ratings, even though normally we use our Untappd app and we rate everything there, but we won't have an actual place.
It'll be on our website.
It'll be on our website to rate it. We don't actually have there's not an app or anything that the world can see besides the website.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and rate this. We're still gonna do the.
Yep, just like normal.
All right, so yeah, we'll rate this drink from 0 to 5, going by quarters. Honer was so eager to rate this. So.
Yes, I give it a 4.5. I love this so much. It's like I can see how people drink old fashions now, but only if they're drinking it with wow, I forgot her name. Brandy.
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 She's a fine
She is a
girl.
She's a
That's
fine
right.
girl.
It's a good song.
I still don't know
This
song.
was
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Oh, yes, of
We'll
course.
we'll play it for him during our break.
I was joking.
We'll play
No,
it
he's
during
not.
our
It
He's
was
break.
still
a joke.
He still
confused.
doesn't know.
I pre-gamed before this.
For me, I've had a few old fashions with the whiskey. This is the first ever with the brandy. It's probably my favorite old fashioned. A lot of mixed drinks in there that we haven't rated, so I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna agree with Honer.
Oh
It's
my
gonna
God.
be a 4.5 just because it's one of the first ones I've had. One of the first ones I've actually rated. I really dig it. It's really sweet. It's got our bartender did a fantastic job on it.
Oh, so good. So good.
All right.
I'm going to rate it a 4.5, but more importantly, Jeanette, I need to get this Aubrey Dodd on the show. That's how great this was, the mixologist for this. Please
I
introduce us, or just
will.
me.
Real quick, another quick.
Well, I will introduce Aubrey to you. She actually, during the pandemic, decided to become a financial advisor instead of a bartender, but she's still helping out some of her favorite brands. So I think she would definitely agree to this.
That's awesome.
We'll do a texting or emailing kind of thing
So
to introduce her.
this drink
She's amazing.
This drink literally makes me want to go to like every whiskey bar or any like place that sells liquor and be like, "Hey, put brandy in my old
Yeah, make me an old fashioned but with brandy.
Yeah.
I think I'm
All right, but here's the thing. You have to tell them, make it the Wisconsin way, which is with the muddling of the cherries and the bitters and the orange and the sugar, and then also topping it with the soda.
Hopefully
Okay.
they're skilled enough to know that.
I was gonna say if they don't do that, then we're just gonna leave.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
We'll be
I'm not paying for that.
we'll
I'm
be
outta
that
here.
snob.
We'll
that,
be like,
oh,
my nose will be up in the air, and I'll be like, "Nope, my business is out of here."
Well, I think you need to take a road trip to Wisconsin.
I think we do too.
Oh, we're going to party at Jeanette's.
I've only been to Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin, honestly. That's the
Get
only
some
place.
spotted cow while we're up there, too.
I think you should. I think you should go, if you go to the Dell Bar, which is featured in my book, and it's their cocktail that's on the front. But also any supper club anywhere in Wisconsin will make this drink for you,
Oh my god!
and they'll do it the right way. And then if you go to some of the cocktail bars here, the fancy places, they will do interesting twists. So I think you'd have a great time.
Like my blackberry ginger ale.
Yes, yes.
So, Jeanette, what did you rate this from 0 to 5 by quarters? The Wisconsin Old Fashioned.
I think I have to go with a 5.
5-star
because
banger.
It is Wisconsin's quintessential unofficial cocktail.
Yes, it's really good.
So
If this is what defines Wisconsin's cocktail
yeah,
scene,
it does.
oh my God, it is fantastic, and I want to try more of their scene. I want to try
And we
every
will
Wisconsin one.
later during the show.
Oh my God, Bruce, we will.
That's right. It's time for a what?
Shot break.
Shot break.
We're gonna go ahead and take a shot. We probably really won't take a
No,
shot.
we
but
probably won't.
We're going to have our second old fashioned.
Yeah, we actually got another one, so we're gonna drink another one and then come back.
Yeah, so we'll take for the listeners out there. Listeners out there, we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with beer number 2.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was really good. It's so smooth with the brandy instead of the whiskey.
Smooth,
So smooth.
so smooth. Ooh, two tones really like this.
Filthy cherries. Get those filthies on. Those berries. Every cherry. Sex in the laundry room. Filthy. Rinse cycle.
Beat it up in the laundry room. Even on the balcony, we can do it too. I don't give a shit, there's a shed there. We
Double
can
dry.
even do it no matter where.
Moist.
What you wearing? Let me see the underwear. I don't know. I'm classy.
Not really.
I'm gonna take you out to eat and then take you home to eat. Yeah. That was Free, a calm piano beat, elegant, produced by Electube Music, by Electube Music on YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody. We're feeling kind of good now. We've had 2 of those old fashions. We're back. We're ready for beer number 2. Honer, are you
Yes.
ready for this?
So,
Let's
everyone,
get it.
I'm ready for this. I have Moscow Mule. It's a Prairie Artisan Ales, hard seltzer, 8.7% ABV, not available IBU. 892 check-ins from everybody in the world. 3.34 average. Prairie Artisan Ales is a microbrewery in Krebs, Oklahoma.
Did you say crabs?
Krebs,
Krebs.
United States. Hey, I said Oklahoma correctly, didn't I?
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
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 So, Style Guide says double hard seltzer with house-made ginger syrup and fresh lime juice. So they got some of the syrup from Bruce because he is a ginger. It says ginger, lime, crisp, syrupy, and salty.
Now, I almost brought copper mugs because Moscow Mules are supposed to be served in a copper mug. But I didn't do it because this is a seltzer and not the actual thing. And I didn't want to truck around copper mugs.
Well, you know the story behind copper mugs.
No.
I do not. Please tell us, Jeanette.
Okay, the story behind the Moscow Mule is there's this guy who had vodka, which once upon a time, vodka was not popular. I know it's hard to believe, but it was considered this Russian spirit that people weren't really interested in. And then this guy had a bunch of ginger beer, and he also knew someone who made copper mugs. So throw in the lime, the ginger beer, the vodka, and the copper mug, and that's how the Moscow Mule was started. And it was kind of one of the first drinks that became popular via marketing. But the Moscow Mule plus the Bloody Mary, that led vodka to become more and more popular. And of course, now I think it's still either the number 1 or the number 2 spirit. Whiskey is, it kind of fights with whiskey over who drinks what the most. Although the other thing that they're fighting with, of course, is tequila.
Yeah.
I love tequila.
I'm a tequila guy here.
Now, I love a good Moscow Mule. So my first thoughts
It's got good.
on this
It's got a good
is
taste to it.
it's interesting. It doesn't hit me like a normal Moscow Mule. But what does hit me is I can taste that alcohol. It's there, but not in a bad way. It gives me this complex like feeling on the aftertaste of like, ooh,
Yeah,
kind of vodka-y.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to like mimic when you don't have any vodka in there.
Right, that's pretty interesting, but I'll hit you like a Moscow Mule.
Oh, okay. So
he'll kick you in the face.
you'll fall over drunk?
No, I'm gonna turn around and then kick you like a fucking
Like a mule, like a horse.
Oh, okay. So
Hind-
like
hind
Mr.
kick.
Baby Legs is gonna kick me.
Baby legs.
I'm a baby. Cuckoo caca.
Yeah, we know.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, take it easy.
Jeanette might not know,
Take it
but
easy.
whenever he sits in a chair, his little pudgy little legs just stick out like a baby in a jumper.
I didn't want time.
That's all we needed, though.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime.
So yeah, this beer tastes pretty good, I think.
Good thing it's a seltzer.
Jeanette, what do you think of it? Sorry, we forgot you were here.
It smells like a cross between a Moscow Mule and a beer. I think it's good. I think it would be good on a hot summer day. It's only 45 degrees where I'm at. It's sunny though. 3 days ago it was snowing, so I'll take the sun in 45. I think it would be more appropriate to something like really hot, like you just mowed the lawn or you worked out or you walked the dog and you want something refreshing. But you're right, it does have that hit of alcohol.
Yeah, I kind of wish I put it on the rocks. I feel like
That's what I was
I
thinking,
think
like
it needs
a-
some ice on it. Like it's cold beer. We have it cold, but I feel like it would be better on the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had like a copper glass, that'd be really nice.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, shut up.
Well-
what's the next segment? Because we'll just move on.
Hold on.
Hit it. Pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, there you go.
I'm
Okay.
sad now.
All right, what you got, dog?
I had to bring this up because Bruce called me the other day and we talked about it a little bit. Cobra Kai and The Witcher 2 will drop this year in 2021, season 4 and 2. I was thinking 3 because The Witcher 3 was the game.
So Cobra Kai is actually coming out this year still. It just came out this year.
Yeah,
didn't
in
it?
January.
Oh, I love it.
I only brought this up because Bruce told me a little bit about Jeanette having some type of Cobra Kai party.
Did you have a
Oh, yeah.
party?
I did. Well, my sisters threw it. Throughout this whole pandemic, my sisters and I decided that we were going to visit with each other and our kids and our families since we're all behaving pretty safe. And my sister, for the opening this year, decided to throw a Cobra Kai party. And everyone had to drink some Coors Light, which I think still sucks.
Wow.
I agree.
You're excused.
Rainwater, but Johnny Lawrence drinks Coors Banquet beer. Are you
We
doing
had
light
Coors-
because
we
it's a
had-
ladies' party?
We had Coors Banquet and we had Coors Light.
Oh, okay.
It was just, they both just, no. Sorry.
Coors isn't
Um,
that bad. Coors Light is
Honer
terrible.
has left the chat.
I have a coworker that has a friend that calls it panther piss. But then to me like that sounds kind of cool. I think. So same with him, he thought it sounds kind of cool. Like panther piss sounds like a badass name compared to like Coors Light.
And that
I
TV
would
show,
drink it.
the League, didn't they have like a beer called like Snake Penis or something?
Never watched it. Not a sports guy.
And you are now, I hear.
Nope.
But anyways, back to your story, Jeanette. How'd that go?
So it was really fun. My sister Karen and also my sister Julie, they're both really fun. And they both, they brought Cobra Kai-esque appetizers, and we ordered sushi because our kids will eat sushi. And after watching Cobra Kai, we played a game which my sister and her husband came up with during the pandemic. And it's basically you use your phone and Spotify or Alexa or whatever, and you put in a song, and then you try to guess the movie it comes from.
Oh, okay.
And
Sounds actually kinda fun.
which that
If you're
kind of
wrong,
reminded
you
me
drink.
when you brought up Brandy, you're a
Right.
fine girl, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I pissed off my brother-in-law when I picked a couple songs from Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was going to pick them.
Oh, okay.
Well, he
So-
snoozes, he loses.
So do they still get like at least half a point if they guess the movie, but it wasn't the movie that you were thinking of? Because songs are in multiple
Yes, because
movies.
some
so
songs are in two different movies,
Okay.
and it's always fun picking the obscure songs from different movies, and it's definitely. And I also learned that my other brother-in-law is really good with movie musicals. I guess his mom really liked those growing up, so
Hey, there's
he's
nothing
the only
wrong
one who
liking
got.
musicals. I know somebody here who loves a musical,
That's me.
and you too.
the
Greatest,
Greatest
Showman.
Greatest Showman.
It's amazing. Jeanette, you
Yes.
ever seen that? You love it. You love it.
I do.
I
I do
know.
like musicals.
I had a feeling you did.
Well, I loved Rent in person back when we could see
Oh,
it on
God.
stage. That
Rent was
was
fantastic.
amazing. And I saw it on Broadway because my one friend we went on this trip to New York through one of the local schools. We were out of college, but we were like, we can get a cheap rate to go to New York and visit galleries. And she knew where to go because she was good friends with the Broadway critic, and she knew how to get cheap tickets. So it was really cool to have a friend who knew what she was doing,
So
because I sure didn't know.
can I just say that I saw Rent, right? I didn't see it on Broadway. Luckily you did. I saw it at Purdue, like their theater. It was like an amateur one. I didn't know it was. But it was saying like, "Hey, Rent, yeah, we're traveling." I was like, "Yeah, I need to go see it." So we went to go see it, and I was like, wow, I am highly disappointed by the live action version of this movie. Like, the actual movie is fantastic, but
You
when
know,
I
it's a
saw
play first, though, right?
yes,
Okay.
but the movie's fantastic, and anyone that you ask will say the same. But when you see it live and it's amateur and they're not the like Broadway stars, it's definitely it's like a
high school play that you
yeah, that's
Now,
exactly what I felt.
I got a little trivia. Does anyone know where Rent takes place?
New York, right?
Oh, speaking of New York, How You Met Your Father
Oh shit!
takes place in New York, just like How You Met Your Mother.
So How I Met Your Mother was fantastic. One of my top favorite comfort shows. But did you know that they actually have How I Met Your Father starring Hilary Duff?
It's been greenlit. Yep.
Yeah, it's been greenlit. It's going to be on Hulu finally. They've been trying to do this production for 3, 4, 5 years, like forever. But Hulu finally is taking it in.
Now, I'm not a huge How You Met Your Mother fan. I'm not against it. It just fell in that area where it wasn't on the shows when I was watching TV a lot.
Right.
But I have seen a few episodes, but I haven't seen them all.
It's cheesy,
Is
but I
Hilary
love it.
Duff
Yes.
in How You Met Your Mother?
No.
So how the fuck is this a spinoff?
It's a spinoff because she is going to be the main star most likely. And I'm sure they
But
didn't have
that
her.
doesn't make it a
no,
spinoff.
No, but I'm saying I'm sure they didn't have it planned as that, but they're just making it like instead of How I Met Your Mother, it's How I Met Your Father.
Is there going to be any crossover character?
I freaking hope so.
If not, then it's not a fucking spinoff.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
it's not gonna work. I'm just
Wow,
I'm gonna be brutally honest.
Why don't you go sit down on your high horse, bro?
It's really rare that any type of spinoff works.
You got Hilary Duff in it, it's gonna work.
Frasier worked for Cheers,
Yeah.
but
12 seasons, dog. Like
other
so
than
many
that, I
of them.
don't know what else was a spinoff that actually really worked.
Oh
Didn't-
man. I mean,
Wasn't Mama's Family a spinoff
Yeah.
of the Carol Burnett show?
yeah.
I didn't
And if
watch
we go
either.
back-
I didn't watch that.
Jeanette,
Yeah, Tone.
Jeanette, you're
watch
gonna
that.
have to go into the younger generation.
Yeah.
Me and you, we understand how many
Don't call
spinoffs
her
are
old.
everywhere.
Wow, dude, chill.
We are cultured. And we are experienced with lots of great TV shows that have great spinoffs.
So
however, in the new generation, they're like, I don't like doing spinoffs
So
and stuff.
when you talk about older stuff, all I hear is from Peanuts.
Yeah, but the fact that you know that means that you love older stuff. 'Cause
I do.
Peanuts is older stuff.
I am one of the younger
But if
crowd
you
that
did a
does
spinoff
that.
on that, it wouldn't work.
No, it would. I think it'd be fantastic.
The only spinoff
Jeanette-
I would ever watch would be something from The Office.
All right, Jeanette, come on. You tell me. What, Parks and Rec? Oh.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Hurt you?
Come on.
spinoff.
Parks and Rec
was a
was
copy.
awesome.
Parks and Rec was good though.
Parks
It was a
and Rec
really good
copy.
one.
Jeanette, can we come up with a newer spinoff that worked?
That's a good question. I mean, you could go back to Cobra Kai being a spinoff of Karate
Damn it.
Kid, and I
That's
think
right.
that totally worked.
Damn it, you're right. I said not a lot
I
of them
think-
work.
I think the secret, though, is that the spinoff takes on a life of its own
Yeah.
and can exist by itself without the parents show.
Okay, so
Oh, wait, hold on.
Because
Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Law and Order,
Oh my God.
Criminal Intent, Law and Order,
Yeah.
Mafioso, whatever the new one
no,
is.
hold on. So, do you have Peacock, Jeanette?
my sister has it, so
Well,
I've watched it at her house.
Okay, so if you should take her account, and then you should watch Saved by the Bell reboot, because that is a great spinoff.
Okay, I
It's
will tell you
fantastic.
two things, because the late Dustin Diamond used
Yeah.
to live in Wisconsin and ended up in the police blotter because
Jeez.
he got but my sister actually met Dustin Diamond in Chicago after some event, and even oddly and even odder, my massage therapist met him because he used to like collecting knives, and my massage therapist, he's a great guy, but he's also a geek, and he does the Renaissance Fair in Northern Illinois. And afterwards, he went to this party above the knife maker's shop, and Dustin Diamond was there. And it's like, he looked really familiar.
Was he there for a happy ending?
I knew you were gonna go there.
I had to. I had to.
Thy ears are petrified
shut
with
up.
doft
Shut
words that you spew from thy mouth.
Winter is coming.
You know what also was coming?
What?
Fast 9.
Oh my God! I saw the trailer actually recently.
Hopefully you did, because it was in the docs for you to do so.
Well, no, I didn't see it because of that. I saw it because I went to the theaters to watch Demon Slayer, and I
Oh.
saw the trailer.
Okay. Jeanette, did you happen to catch the trailer for Fast 9?
I caught a little bit of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
You're not missing much.
I was saying,
It's
are you
all right.
into any of the Fast and
I
Furious
like
franchise?
I like the originals, and but then, ever since Paul, what's his name, died.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul
That-
Walker.
Paul what's
Yeah,
his
Paul
name?
Walker. It's like, I mean, I get it, but I also am like, I don't know. Maybe this should have died a couple of versions
Well,
ago.
they're
Right.
going to go to Fast 11. That's the
I like-
plan. But I have a dad joke for you, Jeanette. It's a Fast and Furious dad joke. Why did
Okay.
nobody know that John Cena was in Fast 9?
Why?
Because you can't see him.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
All
I
right.
don't know. That's stupid.
Have you guys ever featured Bad Dad Brewing Company on your show?
Not that we know of. If you get us an
Okay.
introduction, we can.
I can do that because Bad Dad actually publishes Bad Dad jokes on their
Oh.
beer cans.
I
Nice.
got another one for you. Why do other Native Americans not Eskimo kiss?
Why?
They're not Inuit.
Oh, that's bad.
Bad Dad Brewing Company.
That is a Bruce the Beer Bandit made joke. I did not hear that. I created it myself.
Fairmont, Indiana, which actually isn't
Fairmont?
That's not far from us. That's
Fair-
like probably about
Fairmont is the
hour and a half
home
away.
of James Dean.
Yes, it is, and it's also the home of Bad Dad.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half away or so.
Yeah, it's about like 20 minutes north of Muncie. Nah, not even 20 minutes. I'd say 10.
Nice. We'll
So
have
Ball
to-
State. Ball State.
Well,
Yeah.
our hope with the show is that as soon as the world starts to open up, we do want to go to breweries and do shows there
And promote the brewery while we're there.
promote the brewery, do a show with like an owner or a bartender or whoever's willing.
Or a guest who
Or a
has
gue-
come.
yeah.
Like Jeanette, if you drive down, you go down there and be a guest
Because-
live.
Yeah, because talking on the phone is not bad, but we're more
It's not the
obviously
same.
yeah, it's not the same as being person to person, face to face with everybody. But yeah, hopefully the world will open up eventually and we can get back to
I hope it never does.
real life.
Is somebody an introvert who doesn't like the world?
Tones is, yeah.
I don't think any of them. Well, maybe Bruce.
Oh, I
I
don't think
do
so.
actually enjoy the world, but it's been pretty nice to just like come home and just play video games and
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
all Honer likes doing.
Yeah, I love playing.
All right. So we're all about halfway done, at least, or all the way done with our drinks. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll do our final rating for this beer. Take a little break and come back with the next cocktail. Bruce, what do you got for us?
Moscow Mule. It's good, but it makes me want to have the actual cocktail more than this seltzer. So if I was going to rate it that way, I would actually rate it not that great. But we're not rating it against being a cocktail. We're rating it as being a seltzer. So therefore, it's got a good punch of alcohol. The flavor is there. It makes you actually think that there's vodka in it, even though there isn't there.
Yeah, it's doing what it needs to do.
I feel like it needed one more turn to make it great. So I'm gonna give it a good rating. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It's pretty good. I do recommend it to people. I do believe, like Jeanette mentioned, that on a hot day, this would be spectacular. And on the rocks. I still say on the rocks.
That would be pretty good.
Would make this better.
I also think that I'll give this a 3.75. It's all right, but I think it tastes like a diet Moscow Mule.
Oh, that's a good descriptor.
That is a good one. Fucking stupid. I agree with Honer.
Yeah, you're gonna agree with me all day, motherfucker.
3.75. My description is it definitely has the real Moscow Mule feel. Like it feels like it. Drink
Fuel
it like,
or feel?
feel.
Did you say fuel?
I said feel the first time. Feel. Like Bruce said, drink it with ice. Get a copper mug for it. I could see myself maybe grilling in the summer, drinking it. Something nice, refreshing.
I think it needs an extra squeeze of lime, which is easy to add. I think it's like a 3.65 kind of. It's good. But it's not. I mean, I'm all about the cocktail, so I prefer actual canned cocktails. I think I like the ginger of it. I thought that was really good. I think the lime was a little bit too subtle. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
definitely.
But
Now
it's a
Jeanette, we
good
do by
one.
quarters. Would you do 3.5 or would you do 3.75?
Oh, I'll go 3.5.
That's
think
what
that-
thought. Okay.
All right,
Let's take a
Jeanette,
shot break. Let's go.
Shot break.
And then we'll be back with millions of peaches.
Woo! Hey, we harmonized, kinda.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm just
Bitch
trying to find.
motherfucker.
She's got a buzzer, by the way.
Bitch motherfucker. Bitch motherfucker.
Honer's a basement fucker. He can't drink his drinks. He's always slow. He's always last. He's a bitch. He can't drink.
Bitch motherfucker.
Beer man on the mic. Licking up licks all night long.
Bitch motherfucker.
I deliver beer. Hey, Victor. How you like those beers?
I'm a bitch motherfucker. I go harder than a trucker going off the road sideways.
Bitch motherfucker.
Bitch motherfucker.
Big
Bitch
dick
motherfucker.
sucker.
Blackbeard.
Big dick sucker. My name is Two Tones and Stan. That's our bartender in the chef. Whoop.
Yeah.
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 Bitch motherfucker.
Bitch motherfucker. All right, that was free. ASAP Rocky type. Travis Scott type beat. Star Trek. Free type beat. Instrumental 2019 by CXDY on YouTube.
All right, welcome back. So you got to give me a minute to just feel it.
Nobody said anything.
I know, but you looked at me weird. We're in it. This is drink number 3. I don't want to say beer because it's not a beer. It's a drink. We're going to go ahead and let Bruce, take it away. I gave you all the cocktails
That's
today.
right. Beer number 3, which is not a beer. It's a mixed drink.
Oh my God.
We got Millions of Peaches by
Millions
Josh.
and millions.
Millions of peaches.
Shout out Terramana Rock.
Yep.
And Open Tab, Gillian's.
Gillian's by Josh Stender, a beverage director at St. Kate Arts Hotel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah. The ingredients are 1.5 ounces of Red Horse vodka or other vodka that suits your taste, 3/4 ounces of fresh lemon juice, 3/4 ounces of champagne honey simple syrup, 1/4 ounce of Matilde Petch, or other peach liqueur. 2 dashes of bitter cube Bolivar bitters or other bitters. Garnished on top of bee pollen, dried lavender, and dehydrated blood orange wheel.
All right, vodka, we use Tito's. The peach liqueur, I can't remember. I'd have to ask the bartender real quick. And we couldn't find the dried lavender. But the dehydrated blood orange, we used the Dr. McGillicuddy's peach.
Ooh, I like Dr. McGillicuddy.
Oh, no, it's first taste.
And she did the whole dehydrated the blood orange herself.
Oh,
Like, we
thank
couldn't
you,
find-
bartender.
Wow.
By
She
the
put
way,
it-
bartender, I'm about to get this downed because
She
your
put it
first
in the
taste is I want
oven,
a
right?
fucking another one.
Yeah.
She used the oven for the blood orange, and it took
Little
4,
sugar.
5, 6 hours to do.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Sugar on the rind.
Yeah.
You got some bee pollen on your lips.
Yeah. You're about to have more on your ass.
Woo! Queen bee. Queen bee.
I'm about to be the king bee, bitch.
This is fantabulous. First taste. I thought nothing could top the old fashioned.
This is amazing.
I could be drinking this all day, summer sour.
Okay, yeah, I agree. This is fantastic.
And
Well-
I think the garnish, the bee pollen doesn't do anything other than I know it improves my allergy reactions.
You don't taste it.
What are your first thoughts there, Jeanette?
Well, I first had this before the St. Kate opened. I was invited to this writer thing where they sort of did a sampling of the foods and drinks that they were going to have. And I met Josh there, and I was like, this is amazing. And he apparently he came up with the idea, but he consulted with the bartender owners of one of my favorite bars here in Milwaukee called Lost Whale, which is a bar named after an Onion article about a whale being lost in Lake Michigan. So I went there and I tried this, and I was like, wow, can I include this in my book? And they said yes. And I think it's a good representation of some of the work that some current bartenders are doing, because the brandy old fashioned goes back 50 years, but this is a drink that goes back maybe a year or two.
Okay.
And I'm curious, because you could have picked any other drink from my book. What led you to pick this one?
It's pretty simple. One of our hosts has a fucking hard on for anything peach.
Me.
Okay,
So
bingo.
I saw millions of peaches and said, I gotta do it for Honer.
See, that makes sense though, because like it's cool that she said this is like 2, 3, 4 years old, and then the old fashioned is like 50 years. So we have like a little bit of the new school cocktails and a little bit of the old school, which
You know what, Tones? You're right on that. I like that.
Thanks, Tones.
we did that accidentally.
I like that comparison.
but we're great.
Accidentally on purpose.
Yes. But we appreciate both because they're both amazing.
But you know what?
Or a
People
cider
have
drink, or
You know what? A lot of people have a lot of opinions about what they're drinking or where they're at.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Dive bar review. Hit it. Go into the dive bar review. Dive bar review. Dive bar
One
review.
star,
Dive bar
3 star,
review.
5,
Could be
2
any.
stars,
Could be any.
kudos.
Could be any star. Dive bar review. Dive bar reviews is where I read 1 through 5 star reviews for dive bars I'll probably never visit. All right, let's do this thing. Today we're digitally visiting Drunk Uncles in West Allis, Wisconsin. You ever been there, Jeanette?
No, I have not, but I have spent a lot of time in West Dallas because my son used to practice gymnastics there.
Well, you might not want to visit this place after I'm done with it. Okay, so starting it off with an ass load of 1 stars. So I will save time not saying 1 star every time. So let's begin. Bill Bywater starts us off with a 1 star saying,
was that middle and last name? Bill Bywater.
don't know. He's his own person. Great little place, but too many dogs inside.
Okay.
You can never have too many dogs.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, I
No.
disagree. I'm the cat person in this group. 1 dog is too many dogs.
First off,
We hate Bruce.
fuck you, Bill. You can never have too many dogs. They're all good boys and girls, so you can
Let's
just
talk about feet. Maybe they're talking about feet. Too many dogs in there.
Ashley Becerra says, if you like a good service and a knowledgeable bartender, stay away. The owner replied, sorry to hear that you are a bad person. Please don't ever come back.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Way to go, owner.
I'm down. Let's go there.
Oh, God.
I'll bring my dog.
Keith Radke says, bartender refused to give salt for the shuffleboard. It was absolutely stupid. Never go back.
Wait.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Yes. When the puck stops in certain areas multiple times, it is very obvious we needed salt. Owner replied, when the puck stops in certain areas multiple times, it is very obvious we needed more salt. Or sorry, well, I read the same thing.
Twice.
No, yeah, Jeanette, stop it. Don't listen to me. You shouldn't be listening to me that well. Okay, owner replied. We're starting over. Owner replied, if the shuffleboard has salt on it, it doesn't need more. Trust us. We know how it works.
Well,
Wait.
first off, I know what shuffle puck is in a bar. But what I didn't know is there's fucking salt. Why is there salt in
There's
this?
salt
Wait.
all up on that.
So you're telling me I can bring my dog and they have shuffle puck? Like, let's go for real.
He's already down.
I'm already down. I don't care about the bad reviews.
Where'd Tones go? He just got in his car and took off to Wisconsin.
Wow, Tones is gone now for the rest
It's
of the
only
show.
like an 8-hour drive. No biggie.
Well,
Right,
if you
Lil.
want to go to some bars that also allow dogs, I could tell you which ones in Milwaukee allow dogs. There's a brewery here called Black Husky that allows dogs, and they name their beers after their favorite huskies.
Okay, so Tattoo Terra with a long boy says, I'm only rating this beer a 1 because unfortunately I must have caught the bartender on a bad day. The moment we walked in, I had to use the restroom, so I went back there. Parentheses, mind you, I was completely sober. And parentheses, not knowing it was a one-person bathroom. I was immediately approached by the bartender. He said, if you're going to the bathroom to do drugs, I'm going to kick you out. I was shocked. So while I waited, I tried to see if maybe he's just has had bad experiences with that sort of thing. He then told me that he's been doing this a long time, and only women who use the bathroom at the same time are doing drugs. I told him I didn't realize it was a one-person bathroom. He then said, well, now you know. Not really sure what his deal was. He was nice to my friends, but apparently he was not a friend of me.
Okay, wait. A one-person bathroom should be obvious, right? It's going to be one
yes.
Well,
toilet.
if they don't lock it.
But, you know,
there's
but,
usually
wait,
two.
but if there's going to be two people in there
No,
and they're
there's usually-
ladies, what do they do?
I'm telling. I'm not gonna name the name of the place I go to. My local dive bar.
I
that
wonder
love.
what it is.
Owner knows.
You can find past seasons. He talks about this local
Yeah.
bar.
Girls go to the bathroom together. Like one will pee, one will sit
Jeanette,
there and get ready.
do you concur as the only female on this podcast right now?
And
Do you concur that females go together?
Often. Not always, but often.
okay, and there
Is it to do drugs?
have been instances where a girl or a guy will come in, use the bathroom, and leave. What are they doing? They're probably doing drugs.
Or they're doing something else, which there used to be a place called Club Maryland's here in Milwaukee.
Let's go.
And my friend Beck and I went to the bathroom and we found a couple doing extracurricular activities in the bathroom. They were making lots of interesting noises. One sink that was kind of gross, which had a bunch of paper towels. And I looked at my friend Beck, and Beck used to be a basketball player in high school, so she scooped up the wet paper towels and made a perfect free throw right in the stall, and they screamed.
I would have been cheering. Ah! So next up, we're going with Nicholas Galdamer ends
I
the
was-
one-star marathon.
I thought you were gonna say Nicolas Cage.
No, He ends the 1-star marathon with the 2-star, saying, "Great, amazing looking bar. On the other hand, the owner Neil is very lazy and won't make a cocktail with more than 2
Fucking Neil.
ingredients in it.
Oh well, Millions and Peaches is out.
Even
Yeah,
with the
I think it's out.
even with the recipe provided to him, he still didn't want to be bothered with making it He meant for me. Are you serious? Not a very great way to make a first impression on a first-time customer. Really do not intend on coming back unless my friends really want to." Pause. Owner replied.
Oh shit!
I love this owner.
I love that he's so into replies.
He's like, he's gonna say, "Hey, don't fucking show up then."
yeah, he's like, "Fuck you, get out."
"Thanks for stopping in, but we never have and never will make complicated mixed drinks. We are a corner dive bar that does a lot of craft beer.
Okay.
Mixed drinks are not what we do. Just like you don't go to McDonald's and order a lobster tail. You don't come to us for fancy drinks. Keep it simple. Calling us lazy is kind of a Karen thing to say. When you can clearly see that the bartenders are going as fast as they can to serve people as on the weekend, the place is always full."
I like to applaud this owner. He knows what he is,
He says,
and he's going to continue to do what he wants.
he says,
That's his prerogative.
he says, beers and shots. That's all you got.
We're a dive bar.
Or two,
We're a dive bar.
2 ingredient mixed drinks.
So I'll give you a rum and coke.
You're going to give him a rub in Coke?
A rum is
A
coke.
rubber tug.
You're going to rub his Coke. All right. Sydney Cernoe with the 3-star panger says, "Very rude bartender / owner. Has a variety of beer if you drink beer. Does not serve food. Prices are high for a bar. Would not visit again." Pause. Owner replies.
Hell yeah.
The
I love
owner
this guy.
replies again.
I love this guy.
$2 a beer is a high price for craft beers. Okay.
Not at all. If you're going to a dive bar and you're complaining about all they have is beer, you probably shouldn't be at a dive bar.
But it sounds like he has really cheap craft beers.
And he said $2 for a craft beer.
Well,
all I'm seeing is 4
Jeanette,
stars.
I don't know if you have caught on, but I feel like you should be going to this dive bar and promoting this owner.
And take your fucking dog too.
Take your dog. Say, "Hey, dude,
Well-
I learned about you on Drunk with Buds, and
get him
you
on-
are awesome. Please continue doing what you're doing."
Let's get him on the show.
get him. Let's
Here's the thing. I as you're doing this, I'm looking up other reviews on other sites. I checked out one on the Shepherd Express, which is our local.
Don't do that, Jeanette. Don't do that.
The best thing was, don't know why West Alleys would want a jerk like this in the city. And then somebody else says, probably because Neil isn't a babysitter. There's never been a problem if you conduct yourself like an adult. He doesn't go off on people for no reason.
Boom, roasted.
I love Neil.
Neil's great, actually.
Neil's
kind of.
great.
I feel like I would have.
I-
Go ahead.
What I'm going to do is I have a friend of mine who I used to work with at the newspaper, and her name's Erica, and I'm going to probably message her and ask her if she's been to the Drunk Uncle. She lives on the west side. I'm pretty sure she has, because she does stuff like that.
That's my girl.
And she would probably be able to give me an in-person review of whether or not this is a good dive bar or not. It does sound like it's an interesting place with a character for an owner. And it's kind of like, if you like the owner, if you like that vibe, you're going to like the place. But if you're stupid, you probably won't like it.
The last one, I promise you.
Kill our hearts.
Nicole Jones ends us off with a 5-star banger. My favorite place because they care about everyone. The trees, turtles, and dolphins. If you're ever in West Allis, Wisconsin, then go check out your Go check on your drunk uncles. As you can tell, the owner is a complete dick. But what do you expect when your uncle is drunk? He'll sleep it off. Also, sounds like they have $2 beers on Sundays. Now that's a damn deal if I say so myself. Now let's get back to it, Tones.
All right,
Well-
for real.
All right, so we have
All right,
we
let's
have
go
our
ahead.
drink. Let's rate Millions of Peaches.
Millions of
All right. Bandit, you already put your rating in the docs. So what do you got for millions and millions?
4.5.
Peaches?
It is probably the best mixed drink I've ever had on this show. And probably the better mixed drink I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
4.5 out of
Nice,
5.
nice.
I want to give it a 5, but can I drink this every day? No, I don't always want peaches. So 4.5, solid, excellent mixed drink. Perfectly amount of peach.
Honer, what do you have? Oh, sorry.
I honestly give it a 4.25. I like the old fashioned way more. That was so good. The old fashioned was amazing.
Know who you are.
Honer, this is where we disagree.
You never knew who I was, so I don't care.
This is where we disagree.
That's fine.
2 tones.
I give it a 4. It was still a solid mixed drink.
I meant 4.
It was a solid cocktail, but that brandy and that old fashioned made it amazing. Like one of the best mixed drinks or cocktails I've had. So yeah, but this is still good. I would still drink more, obviously, but we just don't have enough.
Jeanette, what do you rank this?
I give
beer?
it a 4.5. It is. I prefer gin, rum, and whiskey to vodka. If it was a gin drink, I'd probably make it a 5. But I loved it enough to put it in my book, and I didn't want to put anything that was lower than a 4 in my book or a 4.5. But I'm with you. I prefer the old fashioned to this. So that is my review. It's a 4.5. It's a good drink. It's a solid drink. It's when it's made with the lavender and the bee pollen, it's gorgeous. It's a really pretty drink, but I prefer something with a little more heft.
We did actually have bee pollen with it this time, and it was really good.
Well, I'm impressed that you actually had the bee pollen because I did
Honestly,
not go out and buy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
bee
honestly,
pollen
I
for
didn't
it.
even know that bee pollen existed to like eat for humans consumption until he brought it out. He goes, "I have bee pollination." Okay, I was like, "Oh, cool."
All right, so we will be right back
Shot break.
after the shop break with Attention Please. Beer number 4,
I was feeling it.
Bee's Knees.
Bee pollen it. I want to put my dick in a bee, but I don't want it to bleed. So it's gotta be early on in the honey speed. I don't know what I mean, but I'm going even further than I mean, and I'm going Star Trek. Bees.
Gonna sting ya.
Beats gratis. Star Trek. Daily. No copyright beats. Send copy beats on YouTube.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's been a fucking great show. Excuse my language. We are on beer number 4, which is beer number 2 because the 2 cocktails. It is Attention Please by Bearded Iris Brewing. It's a Dippa, so it's a double. 8.2% ABV. Not available IBU. Style guide says, "Mic check, mic check." It's verbose, yet smooth, and always ready to have the last word. Attention, please. Our all Citra Dippa clocks in at 8.2% ABV. So,
It definitely smells like a Dippa.
Oh, it definitely does. It's really hard. Jeanette, you ever had double IPA, right? You've had one before.
Yes, I have. I have.
Are you a
My
fan of them?
husband. I like IPAs. I'm more of a fan of straight IPAs than
Okay.
doubles, but this one is smooth. I'm enjoying it.
I'm the opposite of you. I think I prefer double IPAs. I don't really like the hoppiness of IPA where it's like straight up in your face. DIPA is more like, hey, you're going to have some kind of taste in this, but slight hoppy.
Hey, this is a little hot.
Yeah, it's a little hot.
Just a little hot.
It's a dipper.
It might make you skip, but you're going to drink it.
So what's your first thoughts there, Jeanette?
So I was gonna say real quick, Irish Brewing is out of Nashville, Tennessee. I know we like to say.
Nashville.
I know we say where they're from, so Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you. Anyway,
Second time on the show, Bearded Iris.
Oh, is it?
We also have had their Chief of Chiefs double dry hopped double IPA.
That is the other one we had. I really like the heartbeat monitor type thing on there, but it's green. I like the can.
it reminds me of the Matrix.
It reminds me of like Matrix, but like aliens experimenting on me, and that's what their screens are is green and not red like ours. So like I prefer that. It's cool. Attention, please. This human is dying.
Ooh. Attention, please.
Check
it's
out his-
time for Bruce Trivia.
Bruce Trivia.
Bruce Trivia.
Bruce Trivia. Bruce Trivia.
It's the first one of the season. Who's going to start off with a win?
Me. That sounds like
That was good. That was a good one.
that sounds like Snoop Dogg.
Welcome to Bruce Trivia. Today we're going to be doing the beer game yet again. We've had this before in other seasons. I am going to list a name of a beer, and our participants, Jeanette, Honer, and Two Tones, will ring in and try to guess what style of beer it is from the name. Do you follow?
Yes,
Jeanette, let me know when you are ready.
I am ready.
Okay, the name of the beer for number one is Fixed Gear. Two Tones.
IPA.
Fuck
yeah.
A red IPA from Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
Wisconsin.
Wow, Jeanette, come on, at least answer, because like I don't want Tones to win. I'd rather have you win.
Number two, Fuel Cafe.
Wait, hold on.
Owner,
A
Stout. Oh, hey, Jeanette, get out of here.
Stout is correct.
Yep.
From Lakefront Brewery again.
Yep.
How did I know it wasn't?
1 to 0. Number three, Light It Up. Honer.
Lager.
Belgian.
Oh,
That is correct from Third Space Brewing, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
y'all
2-1-0.
gotta stop.
Honer's in the lead. Number four, Frog.
Porter.
No, that's a frog. That sounds like that would be a light ale.
Honer. Sorry, Two Tones.
We'll say blonde.
You gotta do the cowbell when we know it's you, Jeanette.
She's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just letting her know
Stout.
because I can't remember if it's her or not. Let's do IPA.
That is incorrect.
Is it?
We have not had
Oh, she's doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeanette.
Is it a German style lager?
Ooh, that
Good
was
guess, but
very
not.
specific.
Berliner Weiss.
That is a type of sour. I'll give you the Bruce stretch.
Hey, Guzzo.
Stretch. That's 2 to 0. Come on there, Jeanette. You gotta get into these. Are all Milwaukee beers. All of them are Milwaukee beers. If I have not.
And
told
we're
you.
just guessing. So
Number 5, Beach Ball.
ale.
Ale.
Jeanette.
I said ale too.
I think Honer is looking
Sour.
it up. Two Tones.
Wheat.
Honer.
Stop. Oh, you said it first.
IPA.
There she is.
It is a pineapple milkshake IPA from Broken Bat Brewing,
It
Milwaukee,
probably tastes like
Indiana.
an IPA.
Oh, not Indiana, Wisconsin. All right, number 6, the Golden Sombrero.
Oh wait, wait,
Mexican style lager. Damn it!
obviously it's going to be an IPA.
That is incorrect.
Fuck.
Golden Sombrero.
Lager.
Pilsner.
Oh.
That is correct. 3 to 2 to 1. Two Tones takes a small lead.
I heard when he said golden the second time.
Oh, number 7, Bermuda Triangle.
Stout. Damn it. She rang
I
it.
would
She's
say a
ringing
red
it.
ale. A red ale.
Red Ale's incorrect.
Porter. Hey.
3 to 1.
I wasn't trying to get the coffee.
Y'all can worship me. It's whatever.
All right. That was from Broken Bat Brewing in Milwaukee, Indiana. Again, I said
Brokeback
Indiana.
Mountain?
Broken Bat Brewing in
You said
Wisconsin.
mountain.
You said Brokeback Mountain.
You
bro.
said mountain.
We got Peach Bellini.
Sour.
Fruit
Fruit.
style beer.
Be more specific.
I want to say, what is? It's like the kind that are made in Belgium, but
Okay. I get
A
what you're
lot.
saying. I'm sorry to say.
Cider. Chardonnay.
a lime.
Seltzer.
Seltzer is
It's a
correct.
bubbly.
Oh,
Fuck me.
What is it called again?
It's called Peach Bellini, and it's by Eagle Park Brewing in Wisconsin.
It's called Peach Bellini. Can you see me?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
If we would have said Evil Park, we would have got it.
Yeah, we obviously would have got that.
They only
All
make
right,
seltzer.
number 9, Huey Lewis in the Booziest.
that's a porter.
Porter.
She beat you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot to ring the bell, but
Wow, you
No, you're
did.
fine.
You did, Jeanette.
You're
And-
fine.
And it hurt me.
4 to 3 to 2. She's making a slight comeback.
She is.
Who has 4?
You do.
I
Jones.
know.
Who has 2?
Not
No,
her.
but
Not her.
she does. She
Wait,
has 2.
I was
You
gonna
have
say
3.
how many I got? Okay, 3.
Yeah, 3.
All right, Lord of Lightning.
IPA.
Lager. Pilsner. Sour.
oh, I'm
It's me next. After hers. After Jeanette, it's me. I bring it.
Jeanette,
It's me.
the correct answer has been said.
I knew it. I knew it was that.
Do do do
it's a brown ale.
That
I forgot about those.
Jeanette been listening.
That is a brown ale from Eagle Park Brewing in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I said that backwards, but I don't give a shit.
Haven't we had
I didn't even notice.
Haven't we had Eagle Park before?
We had a different Eagle Park in California.
Okay.
All right.
You're right. We have.
Fool's Gold.
If you're not right, you're wrong.
IPA.
Golden lager.
IPA is correct.
Oh,
So we're now 5 to 3 to 3.
All right, Jeanette.
Tones is in the lead by 2.
Jeanette, we need to team up and we gotta go out.
Yes,
We got
do.
3 questions left.
I'm gonna win.
So next one, just make it whatever you want, and I'll say whatever I want, and we'll go.
Fool's Gold was from Good City Brewing in Milwaukee,
Tones, what's
Wisconsin.
What's
The
that,
gold-
Tones?
The gold
What's that,
reminded me
Tones?
of
Number 12, Long Days, Short Weeks.
Cider. Jeanette, go. Tones, look over there, bro.
Stout.
Porter.
IPA. Double IPA.
Red ale. So obviously, it's going to be a
I got it. I know what it is. Just give it to me.
Nope, he's in before you. He has a chance.
Hefeweizen.
That's close enough for the Bruce stretch. Hefeweizen is correct.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh.
5 to 4 to 3.
Hefeweizen is like a flat lager.
Yeah, you know what else is a flat lager? You
Your
lose.
chest.
Wow.
2 questions left. Jeanette, you still have a chance.
I'm gonna try.
That was from 1840 Brewing in
Try better.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Parking lot party. 2 Tones.
Lager.
That's gotta be a summer ale. Is it a seasonal ale?
Sorry. Owner.
Saison.
Correct. 5-3.
That's a flat pilsner.
First season. I mean,
Fourth season.
fourth season.
We're into the last question. We have a tie with our guest 2 points behind, so I will make this worth 5 points.
Oh no!
Anyone's game.
Stretch.
Get your hands on your buzzers.
All right, everybody, this is going now.
It's the last one. And I mentioned earlier that one of the breweries we're going to have in Bruce Trivia was Black Husky. So our guest, you should know better because this is the last one and it's Black Husky. Deck Dog.
IPA.
sour.
Stout.
Jeanette.
Pilsner. That's gotta be a
And she wins. Jeanette wins the first one of the season.
I hate you.
Please
you
give
so
me
much.
your victory speech and please roast your opponents.
Oh, well, I'd like to thank all of the beer companies that contributed to my education. I would like to thank the city of Milwaukee for providing these wonderful beers. I would like to thank Bruce for giving me the extra 5 points at the end.
Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit, Jenny.
And I would like to thank my opponents for being such good sports.
Oh, wait. That
Yeah. Really good job.
no,
really good
that's not
job right
us.
there.
I'm just not cursing you on air.
And I just want to let you know, because I've been ringing the bell, my dog's looking at me like, okay, is it time to go outside? Is it time to go outside?
What kind of dog
That's
do you have?
why dogs are bad.
I have a Chihuahua Great Pyrenees cattle dog mix.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's 40 pounds. Her mama was 18 pounds, so we figured mama liked the big boy.
Kind of like this beer.
Oh, me too, Bruce. I like how.
So what do you give it?
I give it a 3.25. It's not bad for a double IPA. Chief of Chiefs is better. I think the hoppiness is a little high for me to give it a higher rating. But if you're an IPA lover, I bet you're going to rate this a little bit higher.
Honer, what do you got?
I give this double IPA a 3.25. It's not what I wanted. But I
Oh my
enjoyed it.
gosh. Jeanette, what are you gonna rate this
I
beer?
give it a 4.25. I like
Ooh,
it. It's not
shoot.
my favorite, but I like it.
Nice. Two tones here. I hate all of you guys. Well, not Jeanette, but the other two, because I actually have it at a 3.25 as well.
And he's our IPA guy.
It's good. I do enjoy it. It's really smooth. It's just I have my ideal IPA in my head.
What is your ideal IPA?
Oh
I'm
my
curious.
gosh, it's called Greed from
Oh my gosh.
from Alaska. It's
Obviously,
the
Jeanette.
Anchorage Brewing. If you listen to the shows, no, it's from Anchorage Brewing Company out of Alaska. We get it from our Tavor website or the
Wow.
Tavor app. Yeah, it's called Greed. It mixes it with honey. It's one of my favorite. It's my
Wow.
favorite IPA.
Honey with IPA is very fantastic.
That makes me want to, like, every time I see an Anchorage Brewing Company beer on the Tavor app, I really want to buy it.
2 weeks from now, it will be torn.
I have
That's
Torn,
correct.
and I'm excited to fucking taste Torn.
In our future, in season 4, we have one of their $33 stouts.
Which one was that?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
No, I haven't. I've only had the one beer from Anchorage. Well, we had 3 because we did the show,
Yep.
3 or 4. But it's one of my favorite breweries, and sucks that I can't go there because I got to get there by like boat and plane, and I think I got to skydive.
Yeah.
You can
So you-
drive. You don't have to.
I gotta
But
go
I-
on a cruise.
I did a passport to get to Anchorage, right?
Couples retreat.
Yep.
So,
If you're going through Canada, you need a passport. If you fly direct from the U.S., you don't.
That's so true. I actually want to visit Canada, and I need to get a cat.
Oh,
And
I've been many times.
It's only like 4 hours away.
Many times.
It's not that further from Michigan, right?
No,
It's not that far.
it's
now
like
cross through Detroit.
it's like 5 hours away from us.
I can now cross through
You could-
Detroit?
You gotta go through Detroit to
Hunter.
get there.
Oh, I thought you like there's a whole ass new path.
Oh no, you
No,
can
Is that what
get
you meant?
94 goes
Oh,
right
okay.
into it.
Yeah.
you can get to Michigan faster than you can get, or to Canada. Sorry, not Michigan, it's Canada. Faster than you can get to Jeanette.
Really?
That's true. Actually, it's
That's true.
really close. It's actually really close.
I feel like I would rather go to Canada.
All right. Well, let's shout out our listeners from the last
All
episode.
right, Bruce,
All right.
give me the top 15 cities from
Give
our
it-
last episode.
Give it to me.
We got Warsaw,
Give it to me,
Indiana,
baby.
Chicago, Illinois, Atlanta, Georgia, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Orlando, Florida, Bill America, Massachusetts, Mishawaka, Indiana, Ohio, San Jose, California, Indianapolis, Indiana. Thanks, Ben. Reading, California, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Courtney, British Columbia, Woodstock, Ontario, Springfield, Illinois, Homer. We got South Bend, Indiana, West Babylon, New York, Ypsilanti, Michigan, Cyprus, California, Clichy, France.
Hey,
You've been with us since the beginning,
You day
Clichy,
one.
France, Cleveland, Texas,
always,
Dowagiac,
dude.
Michigan. Thanks, Jakey,
Jake.
Craig, Colorado, which is probably our ex-host, Olivia. Thanks. Hickling, Norfolk, Moscow, Soviet Union, which is not called that anymore. It's called Russia. But I'm old, so I still say Soviet Union. Blackheath, England,
Even when they say
Aloha,
Russia.
Oregon, Alhambra, Arizona, and finally
Harambe.
Harambe!
Fort Hamilton, New York.
Dicks out. Harambe.
All right. Last call. Bartender says, "Hey, it's like 2:30 or 3:30 or wherever you are. 'Cause I know all the time shit's different. Last call. You have one more drink on the table. What are you getting
Jeanette,
out of the beers we had?
that's 2 beers
or
and the
drinks
2
we had.
drinks. What are you ordering for last call?
I'm gonna have an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
That's a traditional Wisconsin
my God.
last call.
That's exactly what I picked for my last call. I would rather have an old fashioned right now than anything else that came into my mouth. That's what she said.
I'm going
Bruce,
with
what do you got?
billions of peaches. I want another one right now, but we're out of the ingredients.
I am glad Bruce changed it up because I didn't want to be the only one. I think I really want that Moscow Mule. I want it. I want it in the ice. I want it in the copper mug, and
With
I
a
want
lime twist.
with the lime. And I want to pour that beer into my glass right now. Like that lime. I think is what I'm craving. So
Now, Jeanette, we call this next segment the guest book. Now, you can't sign 2 mixed drinks. So, of the 2 beers that you had in front of you, you need to sign one of the 2 cans with your autograph and send it back to us. We will pay for the shipping. Just let me know if you want to do it via PayPal or Cash App.
Bruce said you need to. You don't have to. We would really appreciate it if you just signed your favorite beer, send it back to us. That way, when we get bigger, we can build a wall of all of our guests. Like
So far, everyone but one guest has done it.
yeah.
Then
So,
I will sign one of
Yeah.
these 2. I
Just-
haven't decided
yeah,
which
just
one I want to sign.
sign your
but
favorites.
I will sign it.
Send it back. We'll pay for shipping. Once we get bigger in our own studio, we'll put it on the wall and it'll forever be there.
Yeah, Jeanette, don't hurt
Awesome.
us. All right, that's the last one. That's the last one. Last one. All right.
Now it's time
Oh.
for social media.
All right. You first then, Bruce.
I am Beer Bandit Bruce on Twitter and Bruce the Beer Bandit on every other media, including Untappd. We also can follow us on drunkwithbuds.weebly.com. And we also have lots of merch. Women, men, babies,
Non-binary?
whatever.
Whatever you want.
Whatever color you want
On
it to
Drunk
be.
with Buds / actually it's the other way around. It's Teespring / drunkwithbuds.com. We have some stained glass prints for shirts, and I have heard that people love the yoga pants that we have with the stained glass.
I'm wearing one right now.
Child.
My social is Honer Creations on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I make dumbass videos for dumbass people like me. And my personal one is on Twitter. It's PETOWNE.
And you can find me at the number 2tones87 on Twitter and on Instagram. I try to post a little more to Instagram, but like when I'm at events, I'd rather just be there. So I don't pull my phone out. So sorry, I'm in the moment. But yeah, go ahead, Jeanette. How can we and the listeners find and follow you?
I'm at by Jeanette Hurt on Twitter and Instagram, and Jeanette Hurt author page on Facebook. And my website is my name, JeanetteHurt.com.
Very nice. Follow her, click on her links, buy her books. I can be a testament to the unofficial Aldi cookbook. Her recipes are awesome. We have tasted 2 of her recipes from the Wisconsin cocktails.
We love them.
Please buy her stuff.
I am literally drunk as fuck right now. I'm being honest. I
didn't eat today.
I am very, very like trying to like focus on things.
So we're so happy that you came on
love you guys more.
aboard. Yeah, we had a great time. We had great drinks. I hope you had a great time, Jeanette.
I had a fantastic time, and I would love to come back. As you know, I've got 2 other books coming out. So next year you have to have me back for my whiskey sour book.
We'll do
But if
that,
you want
and
it-
maybe don't you have a whiskey book that we
Yes,
heard
my
about
whiskey
as well?
My whiskey sour book is coming out, but I also have my book Drink Like a Woman. And if you wanted to do something seasonal, in the fall, I recommend drinking Tom and Jerry's, which is sort of like Wisconsin's warm eggnog. It's an amazing drink. You have to, it's involved because you have to make a batter, and
Oh,
then
shit.
you add a bunch of booze.
Wait, you said Ben and Jerry, not Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, Tom
I
and Jerry.
said Tom and
cartoon,
Jerry,
dummy.
not Ben and
She
Jerry.
said Tom.
Not
Tom
Ben
and Jerry.
Oh, she did say
Tom
Tom
and
and
Yeah,
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
I was
I
like, wait,
did.
oh, that's my girl right there, dude. That's awesome. Because like I was thinking of, I was like, she did not just say Ben and Jerry. Blah, blah, blah. It's
No,
obviously.
I did not. I
That's
said Tom and
Vermont,
Jerry.
not Wisconsin.
Damn, Jeanette, you fucking on another level tonight.
So, Jeanette, thank you for being on. I hope you had a great time.
I did.
Good. We loved having you.
Please, we will promote the crap out of you, promote the crap out of us, and we're going to sign off with a little bit of a song and a rap.
Is that going to be good?
And he's hanging up the phone.
But you could be around.
Yeah, you can go ahead and hang up if you want to.
If you want to hang up, that's
Every-
up to you. But we're gonna play some music. And if you want to rap with us, go for it.
After you hung up from every break, we played freestyle music, and he freestyled too. So
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
now you
They're
get a
pretty bad.
witness. Now you
Yeah, you
get
get
a
to
witness how
witness
bad
the-
we are.
Jeanette Hurt, Wisconsin born. No, Chicago born. Wisconsin living. She's
Yep.
drinking those drinks, Brandy.
Wow, I had a lot of fun with y'all. Now my name is blinding like I'm Ray Charles.
Oh,
Our bartender, shout out Stephanie. Thank you. I wish we had some more Million Peaches.
just say hi.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Oh, she killed
that was
it.
our bartender. Now she knows she's tending us.
I'm in love with the stripper.
Hey!
Bartender, stripper, same thing, right?
I've been to those. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Shouts out. I hope you had a good time.
I did.
If you had fun, you're welcome back whenever. If you didn't have fun, you don't have to come back.
Yeah, we'll just forget we ever met. We'll forget we ever met.
Please don't forget.
We met Jeanette. Forget we met Jeanette.
Forget we met Jeanette.
Buy her books on Amazon or anywhere you buy books.
Or don't forget you met her.